Hello, and welcome to the From the Shadows podcast. I am the producer, Jason Lewis. I would like to thank you for tuning in to the From the Shadows podcast. And without further ado, here is your host, Shane Grove.
Welcome, everyone, to the Midweek Ozark Howl. Is that what we call it?
We call it the Midweek Howl.
The Midweek Howl. Oh, okay.
Howl.
My bad. We won't even start over. We'll just go with the...
We'll go with
this mistake there. So this is the Midweek Howl. And instead of just hearing one of the Ozark Howlers' funny stories, we're going to have a little bit, we're going to go with the coronavirus special.
Yeah, let's call it the coronavirus special, and let's have our resident skeptic / former government worker, former police officer, and all-around good guy, the Ozark Howler.
Yeah,
let's have him to give us some insight on what's going on.
As close as we know anybody that we could call 007.
That's the closest we got right here.
Call me 3.5.
3.5.
At least 3.5.
I got a feeling
Maybe 4.
I got a feling we wouldn't be the first
Maybe
we wouldn't be the first person to call you 3.5.
Yeah, we're gonna call it 3.5, maybe 4.
Hey, I was gonna say double knot spy, but most people don't remember Jethro Bodine from the Beverly Hillbillies fame. So time has passed.
We're gonna stick with 3.5, maybe 4 after the pump.
Maybe if I survive the coronavirus.
So in Ohio here, it seems like they're saying we're leading we're leading by example on everything we're doing here. How's it going where you're at out there?
Well, I'm a skeptic of all sorts except for good in mankind.
Right.
And when they started talking all this coronavirus last week, I was downplaying it. And I had the tragic experience of seeing an accident out on the highway where some people got killed, and my wife was telling me, saying something about taking it serious or whatever. And I said I saw more people get killed driving down the highway today than Corona has killed in this state. So she doesn't like that. And now apparently we've got it, but now we've got a coronavirus. We've got, I don't know, I think 9 cases. I forgot every day I get an update, and I'm becoming tone deaf to it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
But
every day we have a 2:00 news conference by our governor.
Yes, we do.
I went to Walmart. They said Walmart was selling out of everything.
Right.
Now, I don't need anything. Okay. Ever, because I don't want to say I'm a prepper. Maybe I'm a prepper with a lowercase p. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can see by the gear you have on the wall back there that you pretty much got things taken care of.
I guess that's right. It's funny you mention that, Jason, because I know the viewers don't see it. There's at least a half a dozen antelope, on the wall here in my office of 1 cent, and that's the fastest land animal in North America.
That's right.
So if I can go out to Recluse, Wyoming, and rob them of their life, I'll have no problems running up here and taking somebody else's stuff at the end of the world. Just saying it like it is. But back to my Walmart visit.
Okay.
I slide into Walmart and I do like I always do. Make a quick right, run down the clearance aisle, and at checkout.
No, wait a second. Walmart has a clearance aisle? Isn't everything?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Oh, what am I missing? Okay, go ahead.
So, at checkout, I had 10 boxes of shotgun shells, 12-gauge shotgun shells, 2 gallons of milk, 2 family-size cartons of Oreo double stuffs, and one of those 2-pound boxes of assorted chocolates, or bags. It's like a big bag.
Oh yeah, like a Halloween bag.
Yeah, that's what I had in my. And of course the water aisles depleted, the toilet paper aisles depleted, everything's depleted. Mm-hmm. And this gal, I'm in the self-check deal, and everybody's kind of looking at each other's carts to see what they got, because apparently that's what's been going on. And this Walmart employee says, "You going to be able to live on just that?" And I looked around to realize she was talking to me. I said, "I beg your pardon?" She said, "You just got double stuffs and chocolate." And I said, "Yeah, that's kind of the world I'm in. You know, once I run out, that's why I got the 2 gallons of milk, lady. Once I run out, life's not worth living for me." I don't understand it, but
well, did you tell her that's what the shotgun shells were for?
You know, I started to, but then I was afraid that she would think I was suicidal. And it took 10 boxes to kill myself. I had went to Sam's a few days before. I don't remember. I went to Sam's Club a while back. I don't know. I generally go to Sam's and I buy all the stuff I want and then some. Okay, so I happened to be by Sam's the other day. I ran in there to get some stuff, and I ran into a guy I haven't seen since high school, and we were talking, and there was a woman in the checkout with 30 12-packs of, and I told my buddy, I said, you know, you can tell a lot about society about what's sold out, because at that time, just the generics were sold out. So they had Aquafina water by the pallet, but the Members Mark was gone, which tells me people are thinking about the end, but they're still too cheap to prepare for it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So the generic, you know, different things were gone, but the name brands. And I went through the vegetable aisle, and there was cases of peas and green beans and corn, but then all the pork and beans were sold out.
Nobody cares about being healthy.
I don't know. So, as I'm talking to the guy, some woman comes through there with 30 12-packs of beer, 2 bags of chips, and that was her. That was all she had. I mean, that was her end. Now, I don't know. You know, the toilet paper thing is really puzzling me, because that is what everybody's been talking about. And what I think, first of all, that's one of the last things you should worry about.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It takes up a lot of space for what good it is. I mean, you're not going to carry, if the flash comes, you're not going to carry 4 16-roll bags on your back out here to the wilderness. You just ain't going to. You know what I mean?
Right. You improvise. Okay. If you're out on the run, you're going to improvise.
Maybe. I don't understand it, but I think as human beings are obviously pack animals, and they're followers. So when when they see you buying a roll of toilet paper, they instantly want to buy a roll of toilet paper or something. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend of mine tell me yesterday, a guy that I wanted to try to get on as a special guest, and he just wants nothing to do with the podcast because he's afraid that people will trace it back and find out where he's hiding and have all his stuff.
Oh, God.
But he told the story where, he's going to butcher a hog. He's going to butcher his own hog. And he told his wife to pick up, and I don't remember how big a bag of salt it was. I think it was a 10-pound bag of salt.
Okay.
So he says his wife's in the store buying a 10-pound bag of salt and runs into her sister-in-law and sees that she's got a bag of salt, sees her in salt. And she says, "What's the deal with the salt?" "Well, I'm getting the salt because so-and-so's going to butcher a hog, and in amongst her being puzzled about the art of butchering a hog, she said, "Well, maybe I should get one." So she puts a 10-pound bag of salt in her cart. So that's just an example of we're panicking, so I'm going to do what you're doing.
Even though she's not butchering a hog.
Right.
That's exactly right. So when you guys gave me the moniker of the Ozark Howler, I really wanted to be the Missouri Mule.
I like the Ozark
Howler. Government. A mule, when you get up in the mountains, the smart people ride a mule.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Not only is it more sure-footed, but a mule will not hurt itself for you. You cannot train a mule to hurt itself. A horse, you can train good enough it will ride off a mountain if you want it to, where a mule will not. Shaden, you're looking at me puzzled there. You didn't know that.
I'm amazed.
Yes.
I'm amazed that you knew that.
Yeah,
A mule will sit down or lay down before it allows you to try to lead it astray enough to where it's going to get hurt.
Yep.
You know, you can ride. I've been up in the mountains, elk hunting and stuff, and you ride a horse, especially trailers. Some of them, a dumb one, you hit your feet on the stirrups. If you're in that what we call black timber, a dumb one will hit every freaking tree with your stirrups. Okay. A mule will hit once or twice, and then he realizes how wide he is, and he will adjust accordingly as he's walking by trees. So people are horses. Okay.
Yeah.
There's very few mules out there in the world, I guess is what I'm saying. But back to the toilet paper. It really bothered me. I got a friend of mine in the nuclear industry that's one of these guys that's so smart he's almost insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's sober. And I said something about him. What he buy? And he says, well, he went and he bought 3 gallons. I think he said gallon. Can you buy a gallon of whiskey? That sounds like a lot. He had bought 3 gallons, I think, of Evan Williams, some Kool-Aid or Crystal Light stuff, you know, thing of water or whatever. And then I said, you didn't stock up any toilet paper? He goes, no. He said, you know, I bought a 6-pack of wash rag.
Oh, no.
Because the toilet paper was all getting sold out. And I said, really? He said, you know, if they're really worried about it, he said, you know, you could, I know this is a family show, so I don't want to say ass, but he said, you wipe your ass with a wash rag and rinse it out and use it for 6 months. But a roll of toilet paper is going to be gone in a couple of days. And he said, you know, just like a baby diaper. And I said, you know, hey, that's why the lights are still on, because the nuclear power still works, right? Smart people buy wash rags.
You know what though? He's got a point. I mean, what did they do before disposable diapers?
Well,
you know, they had
cotton cloth diapers.
See, we were
plastic
you guys are
pants.
plastic pants. You guys are plastic pants babies, right?
Yeah, I remember the blue ones.
If you survived wearing plastic pants, you had the ability to memorize a phone number, which these kids can't do nowadays.
That's right.
So that's why we're genetically superior to the younger people. Okay.
Well, hey, look, all you had to do is see that they've been told to stay away from each other, and they crowded the beaches in Florida so bad you couldn't even tell they were on a beach.
Yeah.
Or maybe it really is the end, and they're at least going out with a bang, and we're the dumb ones that are bunkered in.
You know what though? I'm too old. I'm too old to go out with a bang.
No.
Yeah. Let's just go out. I was telling you the story about. So everybody's lost their mind. Okay, basically up here, everybody's lost their mind.
Yeah.
And nothing's really happened. Just giving you some good advice. Stay indoors. And
really
never mind
simple.
that Jason and I are in 2 jobs that are probably we're around more people on a daily basis than probably just about anybody right now.
We're around germs that they probably have only theorized in labs.
Right now, anytime.
Yeah, and Jason and I are
unless you're on stage somewhere, unless you're Tony Bennett at Caesar's Palace all year, you guys are 5 nights a week. You guys are around more people than anybody else.
And Jason and I are literally like a foot apart.
Yeah.
Okay, foot apart. Now, they've told us at the post office various things about, first of all, we're not going to stop delivering mail. Okay, we didn't even stop delivering mail the day after 9/11.
They were arguing about that yesterday. Yeah. I just stayed out of it and just watched them because I found it rather comical.
But we're not gonna. I mean, they created the post office in the Constitution. Okay, we're an arm of the government that the government sees as
necessary,
essential,
but
an essential function.
But also, though, I remember after 9/11, they told us, they said, "Hey, look, for the average person, you guys are the only contact they have with the federal government, good, bad, or otherwise." Yep. So they go, "You're not. You deliver mail, this, and we're also be able to check up on people and stuff like that." So we had one of the girls at the office sent us a group text about something that happened to her. So she's walking up to a house, and I don't know, most people's mailboxes in town are by their door, so you just put them in there, throw the mail in there. And she said this lady is waiting inside the front door. And she goes, I never, you don't normally see people when you're, at their houses during the day, except for older people, maybe, because everybody else is off working. Well, she said she had not seen this lady before. Goes up. The lady opens the door, and she's thinking, oh, maybe she's lonely or whatever. And she hands her the mail, and as she's handing her the mail, the old lady brings out a big full can of Lysol, sprays her hand and the mail, and takes the mail from her. And the girl's like, listen, just why didn't you wait till I put it in the mailbox? Because what you guys sprayed me for? Yeah. And it's just that level of, well, that's inconsiderate. Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because in a true pandemic, that Lysol would be worth something. I'd have took her Lysol.
Slugged her in the mouth.
I'd have snatched. No, just took the can.
Well,
Put it in your mailbag.
I told her she should have taken out her dog spray and sprayed the lady in the face with the dog spray. Say, hey, there, how do you feel? Think that?
But who knows? Maybe the lady is helping her out. I mean, maybe she was carrying it, and now she before she touched her face, it's killed now.
I don't know, but that's just crazy.
It is crazy. People they don't think.
I know. I mean,
really
if you're really worried, so for all of our listeners, if you're really worried about the mail having the coronavirus on it, just leave it in the mailbox. Okay, just leave it in the mailbox. But please don't spray your carrier with Lysol.
No.
Because there's some people out there that may not be, I mean, I know, hey, if you spray me with Lysol, it ain't going to be pretty. I'm taking the mail back.
Hey, they should give each, if they're worried about it, they should give their carrier a 10 or a 20 so he can go buy his own.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you're worried about your mail carrier, just leave a 5 or 10 out there, and he'll know what it's for.
So Jason, what are you guys experiencing at work? I mean, is it...
Well, we are experiencing that some of the staff are not even as smart as some of the interned people
clients.
in the facility.
That's what you call it.
Some of the clients.
Yeah, the clients. Yeah, they're not even as smart as the clients. And I'm telling you, I believe that whatever they say on the television is what they're going to believe. If they say there's purple elephants climbing the trees, they're going to believe it's going to be purple elephants climbing the trees. I think it's really gotten that comical now. They don't want to think for themselves. That's the main problem right there. All seriousness, they don't want to think for themselves.
Well, I got a question for you. Yes. So do you think, so like I said, the governor comes on every day at 2:00 and so are you in the camp that you think the governor is giving us misinformation on purpose?
Not
or do you believe
I just think that they're I'm sorry. I want to hear the Howl's
go ahead. No, okay. I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, I don't think that he's doing that. I'm thinking it's on a much larger scale. I think that they're politicizing this thing, and that's causing a lot of undue panic and duress.
You know who I see politicizing it?
Who?
Or just the common people. The people,
are the ones that are not controlling every form of media.
I look at this like a football team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're elected official like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the coach.
Okay.
Or he's the general manager.
All right.
Okay. He's got to go by with what the coach tells him. The coach is going by what the defensive coach is telling him, and the defensive coach is going by what the linebackers coach is telling him, or what, you know what I mean? There's all these moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a chain of command, basically.
The elected official's skill set is not competency; it's popularity.
Yeah.
So he has the ability. He has the ability to go out and make people believe he cares about them. He represents them, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. He's good at going to functions. He's good at time management because he's able to show up to these things. He's good at a few things. But very few of them are medical doctors. Very few of them. Most of them are attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
Most attorneys study, nowadays political science or some other BS degree, just to get some easy degree to get into law school.
Right.
Okay. So, and
since the
they're
judges,
not millionaires,
since the judges,
they're not millionaires.
history.
Yeah, where's
history
the
and
judge at?
history and education.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're not the ones that get elected.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, especially earlier in their career, got elected because they couldn't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as trial lawyers or something. What are you looking for? What are you looking at?
We are looking.
We're looking at.
What's back there?
No, we're not.
No, it's another program that's running on our terminal here. Oh, there you go. I wanted to see that anyway. Go ahead. Where's that gun collection at?
This makes for terrible.
Oh, yes.
This makes for terrible podcasting when the people can't see what we're looking at.
So we have to describe to them.
So back to these elected officials.
Right.
They're just going off by what their people tell them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I've got a great story that goes with it, but I don't think I can tell. I'll tell it to you guys offline. I can't tell it here, though.
Okay. Do you realize the messages that I get from fans? Because
I do that?
Because you do that. Okay.
They want to hear it all.
Everybody still wants to know what the lady stepped out of line.
I'm going to sugarcoat this. this. I'm trying to sterilize in my mind right now. Okay. I got a friend of mine.
This will be the last. This will be the last story.
Okay.
This will be the last story.
Yeah.
Shut it. Okay.
Yeah,
So there was a guy I worked with one time that told me a story that he was instrumental in the investigation post 9/11, not 9/11, but post the Oklahoma City bombing.
Okay.
And he's in a location that it wasn't Timothy McVeigh's house, but it was the other guy's house. Terry Nichols? Was that the guy's name?
Terry
Okay.
Nichols.
So he's in Terry Nichols' house with a whole cadre of executive branch law enforcement employees that are trying to discern what happened. And one of them pulls out what appears to be a machine gun. And he's getting the call, and I don't remember who anyway, he's getting a call that somebody's about to brief. These guys are about to do a presidential briefing now. I'm going to have to scale my name dropping back because some of these dudes, if they're smart enough, they could figure out who these people are. Anyway, the president at the time was a briefing, and I think it was President Clinton, and then Louis Freeh was the director of the FBI, and they were going to go. People were calling out to this crime scene, trying to get all the freshest information so they could feed it. So the president and these cabinet level people could go out and talk and assure that the American people that everything was okay. So somebody's on the phone and they overhear this thing about machine gun. These guys are talking about this machine gun. Oh, he had a machine gun. And I think it was Uzi, but I don't remember. Okay, but it was supposed to be a machine gun. And these guys said within 90 seconds or 2 minutes or 3 minutes of a guy saying there's a machine gun, it's fed back, and then they're going on live TV and talking about all the stuff that they're discovering. And as this is going on, one of these dudes comes through and says, "You guys realize that's plastic, right?"
I
said, "What?" He said, "No, it's because they're handling around, and finally there's a gun guy that says, yeah, we saw that a while ago, but it's just a replica. It's just a toy. It doesn't work." And the cat was out of the bag, and they said, "Who's going to call Washington and tell them don't say anything about the machine gun because it's really plastic?" And nobody wanted to call, and they said you could watch that newsreel, and then they're talking about finding Louis Freeh was talking about finding a machine gun in this dude's house, and it wasn't. It was plastic. Okay.
Well, okay. So what you're saying is, on that note,
all that. This is what I'm saying. The people, any organization or any response comprised of people, has the propensity to have, I don't want to say issues, but issues, because anything comprised of people is not going to be perfect because people aren't perfect, right?
Right.
So I think the people that are there are doing the best they can with what they got. But at the end of the day, you can only rise to your knowledge, skills, and abilities, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's
So
true.
Yep.
That's
I
true.
agree.
That's
Lessons
true.
to be learned.
Lessons
Yes.
to be learned. So on that note, let's keep that in mind. Be kind to one another.
Yes.
Quit falling for the plastic gun stories on Facebook.
And realize that not everybody's perfect.
Not everybody's perfect. And wash your hands,
Wash
man.
your hands.
Wash your hands, man.
So you don't spread the coronavirus.
And if you're in the out in the Ozark Howlers area, he didn't buy toilet paper, but he did buy shotgun shells. So just remember.
and don't snag above the 54 bridge. It's illegal.
Oh.
Snagging season open this week, so don't snag above the 54 bridge because it's illegal.
All right, man. Well, that was a great midweek howl, and we'll talk to you later on.
Yeah, you take care, Jeff.
See you.
All right. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, a final word. Please visit us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/From the Shadows Podcast, and on our Instagram page at instagram.com/From the Shadows Podcast. You can visit our webpage at FromTheShadowsPodcast.GoDaddySites.com, or contribute to our Facebook discussion page called After the Shadows, and tweet us on our Twitter feed at twitter.com/podcast_from. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you all. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.